What RAM latency is optimal for PC gaming? Imagine your gaming experience as a race car speeding down the track. The faster your car responds to the driver's commands, the better your performance. That's what RAM latency is all about. It's the delay between your system asking for data and the RAM delivering it. If the delay is too long, your game might feel sluggish or less responsive. So, what kind of RAM setup gives you the best balance for gaming? When it comes to PC gaming, you want RAM that offers high speed but also responds quickly. The key numbers to look at are the megahertz, which measures how fast the RAM can transfer data, and the cache latency, which shows how many clock cycles it takes for the RAM to respond. Lower cache latency means faster response times. But you also need to consider the RAM's speed because a faster module with a slightly higher cache latency can sometimes perform better overall. For DDR4 RAM, which is still very common, a good target is between 3000 and 4000 MHz. A popular choice is DDR4 with a cache latency of 16. This combination tends to give a good mix of speed and quick response, making games run more smoothly and improving frame rates a little. If you want to compare true latency, you multiply the cache latency by the clock cycle time. For example, DDR4 with CL16 has a similar response time to DDR4 with CL15 because the faster speed compensates for the slightly higher latency. Moving to DDR5 RAM, which is newer, the cache latency numbers are higher, often around 30 to 40. But these modules run at much faster speeds, like 4800 MHz or more. The higher speeds mean more bandwidth, which helps gaming performance despite the higher latency numbers. When installing RAM for gaming, aim for a kit that matches your motherboard and CPU supported speeds. For DDR4, 30 to 100 MHz with CL16 is a solid baseline. Upgrading to 3600 MHz with CL16 can give you a noticeable boost. For DDR5, look for modules around 4800 MHz with a cache latency of 36 or better. Always check your motherboard's specifications to ensure compatibility. It's also a good idea to enable XMP profiles in your BIOS. This automatically sets your RAM to its rated speed and timings, making sure you get the best performance without manual tweaking. Remember, having enough RAM capacity is important too. For most gaming setups, 16 GB is enough, but 32 GB can future-proof your system. In the end, the best RAM latency for gaming isn't just about having the lowest cache number. It's about finding the right balance between speed and response time that your system can handle. DDR4 CL16 or DDR5 for 00CL36 are common targets that give you good responsiveness and fast data transfer, making your gaming experience smoother and more enjoyable.